Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Meg Haworth here, and I help women abuse survivors with chronic illness, offering holistic wellness solutions for them and also helping people after a wake up call, after the big wake up call, and you don't know what to do next. I can help you through that. I've been doing it for almost 2 decades, actually more than 2 decades. So, anyway, I want to talk to you about anxiety today. Now, anxiety is a collection of emotions. It's not just one emotion. And most people feel anxiety in their stomachs, in their chests, in their throats. Some feel it in their shoulders and in their back and with lots of tension. Some people get anxious headaches. So anxiety is a pretty complex emotion that brings a lot of emotions together. Now, anxiety has a twin sister, and her twin sister is named worry, right? Those two get together and they cause all kinds of trouble, lots and lots of havoc. Now, there's a certain amount of anxiety that I think is important for us. Anxiety can push us to do things that we need to do in our lives. It can push us to make decisions that are going to help better our lives. Have you ever had a time where anxiety was really high and you knew you needed to end a relationship that was really abusive and not serving you? And once that anxiety got the relief it needed, that thing it pushed you to do, you felt better. So just think about anxiety. These emotions have value. They help us in some ways, but there are times where it gets so extreme and so everyday that it can really affect us. And right now, with COVID-19 happening in this worldwide pandemic that we're dealing with, a lot of people are dealing with high anxiety and worry, and those two things coming together and helping to release those is one of the most important things that you can do so you can get clear about what decisions are best for you during this time and moving forward. So I want to share with you a technique that can help you with your anxiety. So what I want you to do is I want you just to close your eyes, okay? And just take in 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Take in another deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Take in one more deep breath, just breathing in as deeply as you can and just releasing that wave of relaxation moving over your body as you release that breath. And now we've been talking about anxiety, and if you're in anxiety and fear right now over something that's happening in your life, or maybe it's just something that you visit all the time, it's a normal emotion for you. I want you just to scan your body for a moment, just scan it, and where do you feel it most? And notice that. So you may feel it in several different places. So if you have a piece of paper in front of you, which I recommend, you can write down, feel it in my heart, feel it in my chest, feel it in my throat, like my throat is tightening up. Notice the physical sensation and what does it feel like? Does it feel like a burning? Does it feel like an aching? Okay, so now go to the part of your body where it's most intense, okay? And so you're really feeling it, okay? So maybe you're feeling your throat is just closing up. Now your throat is your center of self-expression and communication. So whatever is causing the anxiety has a lot to do with self-expression and communication. Maybe you're pushing down something that's authentically you that you don't want people to know about, or you're afraid to put out into the world because it's scary. So that might be part of why the throat is closing up and why the anxiety is present. Like maybe you want to start a new business during this whole pandemic, and you're afraid to do it. So that could be something. All right, so what I want you to do is notice that sensation. Does it feel tight? So it's tight, it's closing up. It hurts because it feels so tight. It's like that big lump in your throat when you have a cry or something you're grieving over. So, all right, so now I want you just to, as you close your eyes and you focus in on that, I want you to look for the anxiety. What does the anxiety look like? If you're not very visual, you can also sense it. So you can sense what it looks like. Okay, it looks like this big black blob and it feels really strange and it has these big crying eyes. These eyes are just crying and you can see the worry. The worry's frenetic all around it. So that might be what your anxiety looks like. It can look like anything. It can look like a cartoon character. It can look like you at 4 years old. So just pay attention to what that anxiety looks like and what it feels like. And then I want you to notice, what are the emotions? What is it thinking? Okay, and then I want you to ask it some questions. I want you to ask it this first question: anxiety, why are you here? And just listen for the answer. Now write that down. And now I want you to ask the anxiety, what do you believe? So I want you to write that down. What do you believe, anxiety? And you might be surprised. Like, just write down the very first thing that comes to you. It may not make any sense to you, but just write it down. And then now I want you to ask the next question is, what do you need for me to know? What do you need to teach me? What do you need for me to know? And you can freeform these questions. If you feel like you want to ask a very specific question, then ask it that question. Just give it a moment and listen. Okay. And now here's the big jackpot question. Can I let it go? Can I release it? And if it's staying there, it doesn't want to go, you may have to ask it again. Why is it there? How is it serving you? What is it doing for you? So you can have this dialogue and conversation with this part of yourself that you wouldn't typically talk to. You're usually running away from it, or maybe you're dousing it with alcohol or drugs or sex or gambling. So, shopping. All right. So when you feel like, okay, it's time to let it go, then the next thing I want you to do is, keeping your eyes closed, I want you to feel your heart. Feel the most loving part of you, this expansive heart. And maybe you need to picture something like a sunset to help get you into that space, or a child, or your pet, your fur baby. Maybe you need to picture that kind of love, that unconditional love, to get you there. So just feel that love, feel it in your heart. And I want you to imagine that you're bringing that love to your throat, or to wherever the anxiety is living in your body. And I want you to send it, and just send it right into the anxious part of you. Just send it right in there. Send that love. And you can use your hands, just to put your hands in front of your throat or your head or wherever, and just imagine that you're just sending that love, sending it as light, however it shows up for you. And just watch as it transforms. Sometimes it doesn't take in the love too quickly. It's okay, just keep going. Maybe you need to double the current, double the love current. So just let that love come in. All right. And now I want you just to imagine that that loving part of you is going to bring the anxiety out of your throat and out into the air around you, into the light around you. Just everything's made of light. We know this. So just imagine it's just diffusing into the light, just diffusing and leaving your throat. And just feel as your throat relaxes, or whatever part of your body this is in, and just feel as it relaxes, as it leaves your body. And you can use your hands to just imagine that you're pulling it out, pulling it out. Kind of helps. All right, and then feel as your throat relaxes. And if you can think the anxiety if you want to. All right, now this is important. So we've deleted an old file. And so let's install a new one. We're going to install a new app. So whatever quality you want to install in your throat, or wherever the anxiety once lived, do that. So, and a quality would be something like peace. Okay, peace. I want peace in my throat. Maybe you want 5 things. Maybe you want peace, love, encouragement, confidence, hope. Maybe you want all those things in there. So just ask for those things to come into your throat, come into wherever they need to into your body. Have it flood your whole body and just feel that emotion. Feel that peace. Yeah. This is your natural state. This is your harmony, is your natural state of being. Wonderful. So feel that peace. Breathe it in. When you feel that warmth, that feeling all over your body and you feel ready, you can sit in this peaceful feeling as long as you want to. Just take a deep breath and gently come back. And just feel that relaxation that you feel from having released anxiety, from having had a conversation with it, having understood why it's there. What is it thinking, believing? It has its own story, its own narrative, and these emotions will come in at various times of your life for various reasons. And only you can let them go. So think of this as a process of self-forgiveness, process of self-releaseness. I love that word because it's really about releasing and letting go of this emotion that's been holding on. And we know from science that emotions can make us sick. I mean, you just know, you've heard, oh, I have a sick headache, or I feel sick to my stomach. We know this is a thing, right? So, but emotions can also make you well. So, I'll leave you with that. You can use this technique anytime you want to for any emotion that comes up. If you have guilt, maybe you want to work with that guilty part, and you're going to feel it wherever it is in your body, and it may be in all these different weird places. But if you want to learn more about the work that I do, you can go to my website at meghaworth.com, sign up for my newsletter, and you'll also get my podcasts. My podcasts are there on the blog, and you'll get a free recipe book, you'll get the Adverse Childhood Experiences quiz, and you'll get this technique that we just did in a free ebook called 10 Steps to Overcoming the Effects of Victimization. That's all on my website. So go there to meghaworth.com, meghaworth.com. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that this information will help you get well.